Okay, welcome back as we are now continuing our study in the book of Revelation in the sixth trumpet of the seven trumpets. And we were in chapter 10 of the book of Revelation. And before we go there, I'd like to go to Mark. I'd like to go to Mark just to talk about the return of the Messiah and a very important part that a lot of people quote when they're trying to be willfully ignorant. What do I mean? Well, the Bible will be showing us something, and in order to justify their false faith or their lack of faith in the truth, they will bring up a scripture that they think justifies their lack of faith. This is one of them. Let's take a look in Gospel of Mark, chapter 13. Gospel of Mark, chapter 13. I'm going to begin, and this is again another description of the return of the Messiah. So, Mark chapter 13, I'm going to begin at verse 22. I'm going to start at verse 22, and I'm going to read down to verse 37. Now, Messiah is talking here to the Hebrews, the Hebrew followers of the Messiah. And so he's explaining when he will return in the power and glory. They were expecting him to return when they saw him. They were expecting the Messiah to take the kingdom at that time. The fact that he did not was disappointing, to say the least, to the Hebrews at that time, because they expected him. And in fact, as we know in the book of Acts, even as he was about to be returning to his Father, the disciples asked him, "Wilt thou at this time restore the kingdom to Israel?" So they were really hoping for that. And so here he is explaining when that really is going to happen. Okay. And so here in Mark chapter 13, beginning at verse 22, for false messiahs and false prophets shall rise and shall show signs and wonders to seduce, if it were possible, even the elect. So they're going to be good imposters. But he said, if it were possible, it's not possible to seduce the elect, but they're going to be really good. Obviously, they're going to show us that these imposters are going to be very, remember we talked about charismatic, the cult of personality. You're going to see those type of things, and you're already seeing it being practiced in various areas. We talk about athletes or actors and actresses or singers, politicians, billionaires, all of these, and we're seeing with this cult of personality type of situation where they're being exalted. In the religious world, we'll see it more now. Let's continue. But take heed, behold, I have foretold you all things. But in those days, after that tribulation, the sun shall be darkened, and the moon shall not give her light, and the stars of heaven shall fall, and the powers that are in heaven shall be taken. And then shall they see the Son of Man coming in the clouds with great power and glory. Then shall he send his angels and shall gather together his elect from the four winds, from the utmost part of the earth to the uttermost part of heaven. Now learn a parable of the fig tree. When her branch is yet tender and putteth forth leaves, ye know that summer is nigh. So ye in like manner, when ye shall see these things come to pass, know that it is nigh, even at the doors. Verily I say unto you, that this generation shall not pass, till all these things be done. Heaven and earth shall pass away, but my words shall not pass away. But of that day and in that hour knoweth no man, no, not the angels which are in heaven, neither the Son, but the Father. Take ye heed, and watch and pray, for ye know not when the time is. For the Son of Man is as a man taking a far journey, who left his house, and gave authority to his servants, and to every man his work, and commanded the porter to watch. Watch ye therefore, for ye know not when the master of the house cometh, at even, or at midnight, or at the cock crowing, or in the morning, lest coming suddenly he find you sleeping. When what I say unto you, I say unto all, Watch. So the return of the Son of Man knoweth no man, not even the Son, only the Father. Isn't that what he said? Now, did it say that they will never know? Or did they say that they don't know? I'm not trying to make a play on words, but I'm trying to get people to understand the logic of thinking that we would never know the return of the Messiah's time. Because if the Father knows, eventually he's going to let the Son know. Does that make sense? So eventually, if the Father knows the time of the return of the Messiah, the Father would make that known to the Messiah. He has to if he's returning, right? So he's got to make known to the Messiah if he's returning. Okay. Messiah told the disciples, everything my Father tells me, I'm going to tell you. So Father is telling the Messiah something. Messiah told the disciples, everything my Father told me, I'm going to tell you. So let me see. This is Gospel of John, chapter 15. Gospel of John, chapter 15. Gospel of John 15, 15. Gospel of John, chapter 15, and verse 15. Messiah says, henceforth I call you not servants, for the servant knoweth not what his Lord doeth. But I have called you friends, for all things that I have heard of my Father, I have made known unto you. So, the Father knows when the Messiah is going to return. When he reveals that to the Messiah, Messiah is going to reveal it to his friends. Okay? So, we have that, right? Revelation chapter 1 and verse 1. Again, let's go back to Revelation chapter 1 and verse 1. Here we go. The revelation of the Messiah Yahushua, or Jesus Christ, which Yah gave unto him to show unto his servants. What is he going to show them? Things which must shortly come to pass. And he sent and signified it by his angel unto his servant John, who bear record of the word of Yah, and of the testimony of Messiah Yahushua, and of all things that he saw. So let's look at these two verses. Messiah said only the Father knows the day and the hour. Then he told his disciples, what the Father reveals to me, I'm going to show you. And the book of Revelation says it's a revealing or a revelation of Messiah, which Father gave him to show his servants things that will shortly come to pass. What thing are we waiting to come to pass? Is it not return of the Messiah? Father gives the message to Messiah. Messiah sends the message by an angel to his servants. Who are his servants? The Bible says, hurt not the earth, neither the seas, nor the trees, till we have sealed the servants of our Most High in their foreheads. And I heard the number of them that were sealed, and there were sealed 144,000 of all the tribes of the children of Israel, to show unto his servants things which must shortly come to pass. And whatsoever my Father shows me, I'm going to share with you. Okay? Yep. Y'all see that so far? All right. And we use John as a witness twice, I guess. But we quoted Messiah in, we use Luke as a witness. Actually, we use Luke, and then we use John, who we quoted Messiah, and then here we're using John in his own words. So There's Messiah, Luke, and John. 3 witnesses. Okay? 3 witnesses. In fact, let's get an Old Testament one. Let's get one from the prophets. How about that? Let's get one from the prophets. How about Isaiah? I like this one. In Isaiah chapter 30. Isaiah chapter 30. Yes, that's right, Brother Mark. That's exactly right. You need to look at that one too. But let's look at Isaiah chapter 30. Let's see. Where should I begin? I'm always looking for a right place to get some context. All right, let's go from verse 20. Isaiah chapter 30 from verse 20. And I'm going to go from verse 20 down to verse 30. Okay, Isaiah chapter 30 from verse 20 to verse 30. We're going to go to Amos after this because Brother Mark mentioned another one. But let's look at the prophets. Okay, you ready? And though Yahweh give you the bread of adversity and the water of affliction, yet shall not thy teachers be removed into a corner any more, but thine eyes shall see thy teachers, and thine ears shall hear a word behind thee saying, this is the way, walk ye in it, when you turn to the right hand and when you turn to the left. And ye shall defile also the coverings of thy graving images of silver, and the ornament of thy molten images of gold. Thou shalt cast them away as a menstruous cloth. Thou shalt say unto it, get thee hence. And then shall he give the rain of thy seed, that thou shalt sow the ground withal, and bread of the increase of the earth. It shall be fat and plenteous. In that day shall thy cattle feed in large pastures. The oxen likewise, and the young asses that ear the ground, shall eat clean provender, which have been winnowed, and with the shovel and with the fan. And there shall be upon every high mountain and upon every high hill rivers and streams of waters in the day of the great slaughter, when the towers fall. Moreover, the light of the moon shall be as the light of the sun, and the light of the sun shall be sevenfold, as the light of 7 days, in the day that Yahweh bindeth up the breach of his people, and healeth the stroke of their wound. We're obviously talking about the establishment of the kingdom. I think you could see that. Let's continue though. Behold, the name of Yahweh cometh from far, burning with fire, with his anger, and the burden thereof is heavy. His lips are full of indignation, and his tongue as a devouring fire, and his breath as an overflowing stream shall reach to the midst of the neck, to sift the nations with the sieve of vanity. And there shall be a bridle in the jaws of the people, causing them to err. Ye shall have a song as in the night, when the holy solemnity is kept, the gladness of heart as when one goeth with a pipe to come into the mountain of Yahweh, to the mighty one of Israel. Now watch verse 30. And Yahweh shall cause his glorious voice to be heard, and shall show the lighting down of his arm, with the indignation of his anger, and with the flame of a devouring fire, and scattering and tempest and hailstone. So he's going to show the lighting down of his arm, and he's showing it to Israel. But let's look at Amos for even more. In Amos chapter 3, Amos chapter 3, verse 7. Let me start at verse 1 and go down. I'll let context. So let's go from verse 1 to verse 7. Amos chapter 3, from verse 1 to verse 7. Hear this word that Yahweh has spoken against you, O children of Israel, against the whole family, which I brought up from the land of Egypt, saying, you only have I known of all the families of the earth. Therefore, I will punish you for all your iniquities. Can two walk together except they be agreed? Will a lion roar in the forest when he hath taken no prey? Will a young lion cry out of his den if he have taken nothing? Can a bird fall in a snare upon the earth where no gin is for him? Shall one take up a snare from the earth and have taken nothing at all? Shall a trumpet be blown in the city and the people not be afraid? Shall there be evil in the city and Yahweh have not done it? Verse 7. Surely the Most High Yahweh will do nothing, but he revealeth his secrets unto his servants, the prophets. So do you see? He revealeth his secrets unto his servants, the prophets. So what is the secret thing that he's going to reveal? The return of the Messiah. So at the time Messiah is talking to the disciples in Judea before his death and resurrection, he did not know. And he told them he did not know. And he told them the Father, only one that knows. But then he told his disciples, all things the Father reveals me, I'm going to show you. Not only that, the book of Revelation says he reveals these secrets to his servants about things which must shortly come to pass. And then we read in Amos, he reveals the secrets. Nothing's going to happen until he reveals it to his servants, the prophets. Okay. That leaves us to the 144,000 in this day and age, does it not? And he is showing us things, is he not? And so we can't deny what he's showing us. He's showing us through the feasts, everything. So now let's go back to Revelation chapter 10, to those 7 thunders. Okay. Revelation chapter 10. Now we read Daniel chapter 12. We looked at that and we saw the Messiah raise both his hands and swear for a times and a half, or 3.5 years. Well, 1,260 days, 42 months. Revelation chapter 10, beginning at verse 1. Let's start again at verse 1. Revelation chapter 10, beginning at verse 1. And I saw another mighty angel come down from heaven, clothed with a cloud, and a rainbow was upon his head. And his face were, as it were, the sun, and his feet as pillars of fire. And he had in his hand a little book open. And he had set his right foot upon the sea and his left foot upon the earth, and cried with a loud voice as when a lion roareth. And when he had cried, 7 thunders uttered their voices. So let's stop here for a second. Based on what we've read just the beginning of this Bible study, the Bible says the Most High will do nothing, but he reveals his secrets to his servants, the prophets. Right? We did read that, right? We also read that Messiah said, no man knows the day and the hour of his return, not even him. Only his Father knows. We also read where Messiah told his disciples, whatever my Father reveals to me, I'm going to show you. Right? So here, this angel, we've already discerned that this is Messiah. And Messiah is making an announcement. Okay? Y'all see that so far? So in chapter 10, in the 6th trumpet now, Messiah is making an announcement. Right? And when he was making the announcement, the Father said something. Wait, y'all got that so far? The Father said something. And Messiah is announcing something. Everybody there? This is chapter 10 of Revelation. Everybody there? So Messiah is making an announcement. The Father said something. Okay. Wait. Okay. Verse 3. And when he cried with a loud voice, as when a lion roareth, and when he cried, 7 thunders uttered their voices. So he said something, and the Father said something. And when the 7 thunders had uttered their voices, I was about to write, and I heard a voice from heaven saying unto me, seal up those things which the 7 thunders uttered, and write them not. So whatever the Father was saying, John was told, do not write that. And yet, the book of Revelation shows him saying something. You ever think about that now? So the book of Revelation shows him saying something. And John was about to write. And yet the angel said, don't write what you just heard. Okay? Isn't that weird? So the book of Revelation revealing to us, Father revealed something. And Messiah was roaring. An announcement was being made. And he told John, don't write that. Okay, why? Let's continue. Revelation chapter 10. Let's start at verse 5. And the angel which I saw stand upon the sea and upon the earth lifted up his hand to heaven and swear by him that liveth forever and ever. That's Father Yah. Messiah is swearing by the name of Father Yah, right? Who created heaven and the things therein are, and the earth and the things that are therein are, and the sea and the things which are therein, that there should be time no longer. Wait. He's saying it's no more time. That's the end of this world. We know that's the return of the Messiah. He made a declaration there should be time no longer. Father uttered something, and John was told, don't write that. Something was revealed about the return of Messiah. You're following that? Something was revealed about the return of Messiah. And when was it revealed? After 1844. And to whom? The Israelites. Y'all catching that so far? So something was revealed. Messiah said it has to do with time no more. But that John was told, don't write that. Don't write what the Father just said. Okay? Verse 7. But in the days of the voice of the seventh angel, when he shall begin the sound, the mystery of Yah should be finished as he hath declared to his servants the prophets. So when the seventh angel sounds, that mystery is finished. What mystery? The return of Messiah. The day and hour of his return as uttered by the Father. Who did he declare this mystery to if nobody knows? His servants, he said. What servants are we dealing with in the book of Revelation? The 144,000, that's right, maturity and the awakening. That's exactly right. Hurt not the earth, neither the sea nor the trees, till we have sealed the servants of our God in their forehead. So now let's you see, you got to take it step by step and you slowly put it together. We don't rush to put it together. Like I said, I read this many times, many years. And praise Yah, you should read it. And now, because of what he has shown me, you'll take that baton and keep on going. You hear what I'm saying? So he tells the Father tells him, this is when you coming back. And the angel said, don't write that yet, John. And Messiah said, time should be no more. We're in the sixth trumpet, the sixth church, the sixth seal, the time of the 144,000. He said, I'm going to show you at the time of the seventh trumpet what I've been showing my servants, the prophets. Surely the Most High will do nothing, but he revealeth what? He revealeth his secret unto his servants, the prophets. There's never been a non-Israelite prophet in the Bible. Never been. There's no prophet in the Bible that has no Hebrew blood in it. Did you hear that? There's no prophet in the Bible that has no Hebrew blood in it. Okay? People try to call half, like Timothy, because his mother was a Hebrew and his father was a Greek. No such thing as half in the Bible. He had Hebrew blood in his veins. Timothy did. Okay? So there's no non-Hebrew prophet in the Bible. Doesn't exist. Because he has ordained that he will reveal his secrets to his servants. And let me show you something else. Wait a minute. We're not done. Let's go back to our brother Leviticus. Let's go back to our brothers the Levites. Notice we're here. This is Leviticus. Leviticus chapter 25, again, matter of fact. Let's look at verse 55. All right, Brother Williams, we know how that game works. We know how that devil works. We know how he works. It's all good. That means something must be good happening because he knows what's going on. Don't let it get to you. Praise the Most High. All right. Leviticus 25:55. Leviticus 25:55. Yeah, don't let nothing move you, Brother Williams. We know the enemy is going to work 24/7 because his existence is at stake. He understands that. Let us look past the current thing and understand what's coming to him very shortly, right? Let's look past today and the problems and issues and situations that he tries to annoy us with today. His time is short, and we know it. And more importantly, he knows it. Okay? Praise Yah. But Leviticus 25:55. For unto me, Most High says, the children of Israel are servants. They are my servants, whom I brought forth out of the land of Egypt. I am Yahweh, your Most High. He says, for unto me, the children of Israel are my servants. That's right. We know that the enemy tries his best. Let me tell you the biggest day that the enemy works on the children of Israel to mess us up. And when I say the children of Israel, also y'all Gentiles that are grafted in among us, I'm counting you too. For if you trust in the Hebrew Messiah, you are Abraham's seed and heirs to the promise. The day he works the hardest is Friday. That's the day he works the hardest. He doesn't work the hardest necessarily bringing disasters on the earth. He tries to bring personal ones to you and me. Right? That's the day he works the hardest. Why is it Friday? Because if he can mess your mind up on Friday, he could take Sabbath from you. He can't stop the day from coming, but he could take your mind out of it. He could take your spirit out of it. Yeah, he could do that. He tries to do that. So Friday is the day. Friday during the day, Friday evening, he's trying his best to mess with you right here. Okay? And I know for myself, it will rile me. Well, it used to rile me immediately, but I've learned over the years, to kind of know that it's coming and expect it. My wife and I know expect it to come. So that's no problem. And we have learned slowly to look past it and understand what's going on. To understand that he's trying his best to derail our spirit. That's what it comes down to. He's trying to take away our peace. That's really what it comes down to. The Most High gives us an everlasting peace, and especially on Sabbath. And he wants to ruin that for us. You understand? Praise the Most High. And so we know that his time is short. And he knows his time is short. In fact, the book of Revelation says it. It says, he knoweth that he hath but a short time. I mean, look, you're talking about a being that was created to live forever, who has lost none of his power, right? And so let's say, Messiah returns 2,000 years ago, and now we're at the end of this next millennium, and he knows this. If he knew his time was short when Messiah first got here, he knows he got, in our time, he got a number of hours left. That's it. And so he going crazy now. So if you start coming to this truth and you start focusing on the word, there is no doubt he's coming at you. And the Most High allows him to come at you. Remember Job. Don't forget Job now. All of us got to go through the Job experience so that we can overcome in the spirit any attack of the enemy. Not easy and it's not pleasant. That is for sure. That is for sure. But, even in the world, don't they say in the world, if it's worth something, anybody could do it, right? If it was easy, everybody could do it, right? But no, it's not for everybody. It's for the chosen servants. And the Most High has equipped us with his word and his spirit to overcome that enemy, that devil. And so it's all good. But he gonna come. He gonna come. Every week he gonna come. Every day he gonna come. It's all good. Get used to that. And understand through faith, you looking ahead past what we're dealing with today. Way past it. And look, we are blessed. You only got 10 more years to wait. That's it. It's coming. You know, this thing is hitting to the head. 10 more years. That's it. Okay. That's what we're dealing with. So it's coming. That's right. It's coming. We know the Most High is preparing us. So back to Revelation chapter 10. So y'all see this now, right? The Most High's word said he's going to show the lighting down of his arm, and the glorious voice is going to be heard. He's told us he reveals his secrets to his servants, the prophets. He's told us the Israelites are his prophets. We know we the true Israelites from the word of being scattered, being taken off the land, being put in slave chains, being called all kind of names and bywords, being the bottom rung of society. We are the true Israelite people. We know that. We know that we are also being called to this truth. And he's revealing to us the return of the line of the tribe of Judah. Book of Revelation told us that. So at the time, no man knew the day or the hour until Father start revealing it to Messiah, and Messiah reveals it to us. And here we are in the sixth church, in the sixth seal, in the sixth trumpet, at the sealing of the 144,000. Obviously, he's showing us stuff. All right. You put all that together and you see what it all comes together, right? You've seen it all come to one thing. That's how it works. It all comes together like a puzzle, perfectly fit together. Okay. So now, Revelation chapter 10. Let's go from verse 6 again, where Messiah made this announcement. And swear by him that liveth forever and ever, who created heaven and the things that therein are, and the earth and the things that therein are, and the sea and the things which are therein, that there should be time no longer. So he made a declaration that there should be no delay in his return in the sixes. Okay, let's continue. But in the days of the voice of the seventh angel, when he shall begin to sound, the mystery of Yah should be finished, as he declared to his servants, the prophets. When it says finished, that means accomplished, right? So that means the thing we've been waiting for happens. Seventh church, seventh seal, seventh trumpet. Okay? The thing we've been waiting for happens. And he had declared it to his servants, the prophets. He had declared that there should be time no longer. Father uttered his voice. Messiah going to return. Give it to us. And we're already seeing it. By understanding what these feasts represent. I mean, look. Have you heard, for example, like people teach the Bible and tell you there's 7 feasts? Have you ever heard somebody say that? There's 7 feasts. Have you ever heard somebody tell you that? Right? That there's 7 feasts. Or somebody say, there's 10 feasts. There's really 10 feasts. Or somebody say, we're going to observe the Feast of Trumpets. None of which exists in the Bible. None of that. There's no 7 feasts. There's only 3. There's no Feast of Trumpets. There's the blowing of trumpets, holy convocation in preparation for the 10th day of the 7th month. But see, unless you read all that, but now it's being revealed to us. Now we know because we're reading. The Most High is opening our eyes. And we're seeing these truths, right? We're seeing these truths, not accidental. It's time. It's time. That's why it's time. He's showing us these things, right? So we see the feasts. We see the meanings of the feasts. And the times of the year of the feast. He's shown us all of these things. And we're seeing now we got one more. At the end of the Day of Atonement, after the Jubilee, one more. Okay. And that's the return of the Messiah. So we're seeing that. And so here we are. And so he's revealing to us the day and hour. Now, the world don't want to know about the day and the hour. The world, and I'm including Christianity in that, they don't want to know about the day and the hour, except to exalt man. The Jehovah's Witnesses must have said at least 5 different dates. Them fools must have said at least 5 different dates for the return of the Messiah. All of them wrong, right? And why? Why they keep setting dates? Because they want to act like they know something that nobody else knows when it's not true. They just wanted a horse, right? The SDA church set a date in 1843, then 1844, and they don't know either. They just one of the whores of the great whore. Okay? Because the true servants are not part of Christianity. They're Israelites. Okay? They don't serve the church. They serve Yah alone through Messiah. Okay? And the Most High wants us to trust solely in his word. Period. And in his righteousness. Why? Because he gets glory in that. There's no man glory in that. It's only him. Okay? Praise Yah. Israel can never say, I made myself Israel. No. Father Yah created Israel. He knows who his chosen servants are. Don't never let the world dictate to you what Yah has dictated to you. He's already told us who we are. We don't need the confirmation of the world or of man. We don't need to prove anything to anybody. My wife and I were talking about this just yesterday. You know how, we know that the Israelites were brought to a place like the United States in slavery, in slave chains. And ever since Civil War, one of the things Black people have been doing continually since the Civil War in the United States, they've been trying to prove to the Caucasian majority that we belong here. Am I lying or am I telling you the truth? They've been trying in every way to prove that we're good American citizens. We have fought in their wars. We have worked hard. We have gone to school. Continually trying to prove to the Caucasian majority, we should be able to live with you. We've proven ourselves. You should give us equal rights. We've proven to you that we're Americans. And all the time, they're denying us that. And so we've been trying our best to prove to them all of this time until a guy came along whose name used to be Malcolm Little. And his name became Malcolm X. And Malcolm X said, we're not proving nothing to y'all no more. We don't need to prove nothing to y'all. We are men. Y'all know I'm telling the truth, right? And that scared the majority to death. Scared them. Scared them to death. We don't need to prove nothing to y'all no more. No. We already proved who we are. Hey, I'm not lying to you. And so as we are awakening to the word, we are no longer trying to prove. First, you know what happened? Look, they took us in chains from Islam and forced white Jesus on us. We start worshiping white Jesus, and then now we're trying to serve white Jesus, and the white man being in the image of Jesus, we trying to serve him. I'm not lying to y'all. And the Caucasian people know I'm telling the truth. I'm not lying to nobody. So we trying to serve. We trying to prove we are good servants of white Jesus. We good Christians. We go to Germany and Vietnam and Korea and put our blood on the field. Sometimes coming home from this war and having our men strung up in their uniforms. Muhammad Ali said he went out there to Rome and won the gold medal, the light heavyweight gold medal, came back to Louisville and could not even eat in the restaurant in his hometown. Was talking about he was a hero. He saluted the flag in Rome when they put that gold medal around his neck. Then he threw that gold medal over the bridge because he realized how much it meant. You understand what I'm saying? That's the truth about it. Brothers started getting tired of trying to prove to y'all we belong. And you know what? I have to say they was right. We're not Americans. And then they tried to label us as Africans. We not Africans either. We tribe of Judah. We Southern Kingdom of Judah. But they could never admit that. You understand? Yeah, my son did too. You wear the uniform and you go and you die and you put your life on the line for this so-called constitution that don't give two craps about you. And that's not saying nothing to the soldier. Like I said, my son is a soldier. That's saying nothing about the soldiers fighting for worthy causes. To me, any person that signs up to put their life on the line deserves to be commended for what they are doing. They're putting their life on the line for a cause that they believe in. It's not their fault about what we're being used. what I'm saying? No. We're tired of trying to prove to y'all we're Americans. You're right. We're not American. We tribe of Judah. We Hebrews. You're right. Just like our fathers tried to prove to Pharaoh they were good Egyptians. Did they not? They tried to prove to Pharaoh they were good Egyptians. They were building them pyramids that still stand out there. And then Moses came. Moses was there to remind them, among other things, y'all not Egyptians. Y'all are not Egyptians. Y'all worship the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. And he's come down to deliver y'all. You understand? That's that truth, man. So he is now revealing to us who we are. Didn't Moses have to reveal to the Egyptian, to the Hebrews in Egypt, who they were? Your fathers, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, serve the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. You are their children. He's going to deliver you. Well, brethren, we just read Daniel chapter 12. At that time shall Michael stand up, the great prince, which standeth for the children of thy people, the children of thy people. And there shall be a time of trouble such as what never was since there was a nation. And at that same time, thy people, Daniel, your people, are going to be delivered. Everyone found written in the book. You understand? So, yeah, that's what that's about. So we finished trying to prove to people we belong. It ain't about that no more. Now we have one person, one entity to prove something to. That's Father Yah. We have to prove to him that we want to be his servants. We have to prove to him that we want to give him glory. That's the only one we got left to prove anything to. Not my father in the earth, my mother on the earth, my cousins. We ain't got to prove nothing to nobody except Father Yah. That's it. Okay, we are his servants. He said so in his word. We're his servants. Okay, and now he's going to reveal to us the return of our cousin. Messiah is our cousin by blood. I'm not even talking faith. He's our cousin by blood. He's our blood cousin. I ain't talking about faith. Now, to our brethren of the Gentiles, he's their he's their cousin by faith, right? They bloodline by faith, but not us. He's our cousin. Tribe of Judah, he's our cousin. I ain't lying. We are related. If they were to do a DNA test with us and the Messiah, we'd find that we are cousins. We cousins. All the Israelites are cousins. All 12 tribes are related. They all come from the same father. And they know who that is. Jacob, whose name was changed to Israel. We are cousins. You think it's accidental that in the so-called black community, cousins are like brothers? You don't know I'm telling the truth. In the black community now, it's a common thing. Cousins are like brothers, man. Cousins, like, especially first cousin, y'all close like brothers, right? I'm walking somewhere. Oh, don't mess with him. That's Roy's cousin. Oh, Roy's cousin? Yeah, that's my cousin. Oh, man, leave him alone. That's how it is. That ain't accidental, man. Because we are cousin to Messiah Haushah, line of the tribe of Judah. We cousins. I'm just telling you the facts, truth. We cousin. And our cousin getting ready to come and deliver us. Yep, our cousin getting ready to come deliver us. Don't mess with her. Praise the Most High. So now he's revealing this in Revelation chapter 10. Praise the Most High. So let's go again from verse 7. Now, the last part of chapter 10 is dealing with the book of Daniel. Remember now, in the beginning of chapter 10, he said, the Bible said he have a little book in his hand. And remember, Daniel was sealed up and closed until the time of the end, right? Right? And when we know that the time of the end began, you're crazy. We know that the time of the end began in 1844, right? When Messiah entered into the most holy place. Okay. And it's going to be finished when he come out of there. And after he seals us, right? So now let's go from verse 7, Revelation chapter 10 from verse 7. And let's read from verse 7 down to verse 11. Well, wait, okay. Yeah, let's do that first. Then I'm going to go back to Ezekiel. After we do this, I'm going to take us back to Ezekiel, okay? So Revelation chapter 10 from verse 7 to verse 11, okay? But in the days of the voice of the seventh angel, when he shall begin to sound, the mystery of Yah should be finished, as he declared to his servants the prophets. And the voice which I heard from heaven spake unto me again and said, Go and take the little book which is opened in the hand of the angel which standeth upon the sea and upon the earth. See, so the little book is now open, and he's telling John, take the little book out of his hand. Okay, so then, and I went unto the angel and said unto him, Give me the little book. And he said unto me, Take it and eat it up, and it shall make thy belly bitter, but it shall be in thy mouth sweet as honey. And I took the little book out of the angel's hand and ate it up, and it was in my mouth sweet as honey. And as soon as I had eaten it, my belly was bitter. And he said unto me, Thou must prophesy again before many peoples and nations and tongues and kings. So in the Bible, when a prophet is given a book to eat, it's representing the message that he will bear. I'm going to show you that in the scriptures in a second. So when he's given a book to eat, which is a scroll, that scroll bears a message, and eating it becomes part of the prophet's body, and that's the message that the prophet's supposed to give. Okay, so Daniel was given a little book of prophecy. He ate it, and John, and he ate it, and he was told, Thou must prophesy again. In other words, the words that are in this little book, is going to be spoken in the last days. That's where we are. So now let's go to Ezekiel and see the same thing. Ezekiel is an example of this. So let's go to Ezekiel. Ezekiel, I believe it's chapter 2 or 3. Let me just take a look here. It's chapter 2. Yeah, chapter 2 and 3, as a matter of fact. It's Ezekiel. I'm going to read chapter 2 is only 10 verses. So I'm going to read chapter 2, and then I'm going to read chapter 3, verse 1 and 2. Actually, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Sorry. So from chapter 2, verse 1, all the way through to chapter 3, verse 4. All right. So from chapter 2, verse 1 of Ezekiel, all the way through to chapter 3, verse 4. You're going to see the same thing we just read in Daniel. Watch. And he said unto me, Son of man, stand upon thy feet, and I will speak unto thee. And the Spirit entered into me when he spake unto me, and set me upon my feet, that I heard him that spake unto me. And he said unto me, Son of man, I send thee to the children of Israel, to a rebellious nation that hath rebelled against me. Wait, if we're the children of Israel, are we a rebellious nation? Have we rebelled against the Father? I'll let you answer that question. So he's telling Ezekiel, I'm sending you to the children of Israel, to a rebellious nation that have rebelled against me. Okay, here you go. And he said to me, Son of man, I send thee to the children of Israel, to a rebellious nation that have rebelled against me. They and their fathers have transgressed against me, even unto this very day. For they are impudent children, and stiff-hearted. I do send thee unto them, and thou shalt say unto them, Thus saith the Most High Yahweh. And they, whether they will hear or whether they will forbear, for they are a rebellious house, yet shall know that there hath been a prophet among them. And thou, son of man, be not afraid of them, neither be afraid of their words, though briars and thorns be with thee, and thou dost dwell among scorpions. Be not afraid of their words, nor be dismayed at their looks, though they be a rebellious house. And thou shalt speak my words unto them, whether they will hear, or whether they will forbear, for they are most rebellious. But thou, son of man, hear what I say unto thee. Be not thou rebellious like that rebellious house. Open thy mouth and eat that I give thee. He's giving him something to eat. And when I looked, behold, an hand was sent unto me, and lo, a roll of a book was therein. And he spread it before me, and it was written within and without, and there was written therein lamentations and mourning and woe. Moreover, he said unto me, Son of man, eat that thou findest. Eat this roll, and go and speak unto the house of Israel. So he was eating the words that were going to come back and be spoken. You'll see that, right? So it said, eat this book, and then go speak what I'm sending you to speak. Okay, so I opened my mouth, and he caused me to eat that roll. And he said unto me, Son of man, cause thy belly to eat, and fill thy bowels with this roll that I give thee. Then did I eat it, and it was in my mouth as honey for sweetness. And he said unto me, Son of man, go get thee unto the house of Israel, and speak with my words unto them. So the roll was representing the words of the Most High that he was going to have the prophet speak to his people, right? So now in Revelation chapter 10, it's the book of Daniel. Daniel is the book of what? Prophecy. It's a prophetic book. And he was told this book is closed until the time of the end. Remember that? Daniel chapter 12. He said the book is closed up and sealed. But then when it's open, knowledge shall be increased, right? So now he gives the angel, or Messiah, has the book open, and he tells John, go eat the book. Go eat that book. Take it out of his hand and eat it. It's going to be sweet in your mouth, just like Ezekiel was sweet. But in John's case, after it got to his stomach, it was bitter. Why? Think about the book of Daniel. What does it reveal? What does the book of Daniel reveal? Tell us some of the things that was revealed in the book of Daniel. What does it reveal? Why would it make his belly? That's right. It reveals the end. That's right. It reveals the end. It reveals Jacob's trouble. That's right. It does reveal. It reveals the long. That's right. The long captivity, the beast, the domination of the children of Yefet, the slavery of the Israelites. It reveals all of that. So in other words, if you hear all of that stuff and you're Daniel coming from the tribe of Judah and knowing who your real name is and all that, you're not going to feel good after you reveal that. Y'all see that? So it made sweet because it's truth. It's like with Ezekiel, sweet because it's truth. Truth is sweet. But the backlash and the news might make your belly bitter. Y'all following it? Yeah, see? So Daniel was the book. It was closed. Now, John is receiving it. It's being opened. And he said, you must prophesy again before many peoples and tongues and nations and tongues. Why? Because Israel is scattered to the four corners of the earth in many peoples and nations and tongues. Okay? And that message of Daniel, the prophetic message, combined with the book of Revelation, as we know, is a message that's not going to be well received. It's not going to be well received by the beast, obviously. But it's not even going to be well received by the majority of Israelites. It's going to be received by the people that are called a remnant, right? A remnant shall return. So it's not everybody. Now, even though it's only a remnant, it's still a lot of people numerically speaking. It's still a lot of people. If you got 7 billion people on the earth and you get 144,000 plus, let's call it another million even, you don't even have a half of 1% of the world population. You have 1% of the world population is 70 million people. That's a lot of people, right? You're not even going to have that. You know what I'm saying? And so you're going to have a remnant of the people that receive the truth and receive the word, but the majority going to reject it. Okay, the majority going to reject it. That's why it's bitter in his belly. It was truth of the prophetic utterance, but it's bitter in the belly. Okay, praise the Most High. And that, my brothers and sisters, was chapter 10. I'm saving chapter 11. You know we got to wait on chapter 11. We got to wait on chapter 11 because chapter 11 has got a whole bunch of stuff unto itself that's powerful. It goes with chapter 10. It goes with the whole 6th trumpet. But there's more. There's more. We got to Now, I'm going to give you a little bit of hint. We kind of did this a few weeks ago. So you want to talk about the two witnesses. Well, you got to start with Elijah and Moses. And it makes sense. Elijah is the power and spirit, and Moses is the Levite priest that teach. Okay, I'm giving you some stuff, but it's more than them two, right? We know it has to involve the 144,000, right? It has to involve the Israelites. So you have to know, again, it's going to mention the temple. So you got to understand the temple working. Remember, we started the seven trumpets seeing the temple with the altar of incense. You want to look at that stuff. You want to look at that. Okay. Then you want to look at how we're going to be delivered. We're going to be delivered. Okay. Okay. So yeah, now chapter 11 is the two witnesses now. So we're going to have to go through that. So I want to take that by itself and look at it. That's exactly right. We're still, Don Hines, you see it. We are still a nation within, not just one nation. We're a nation within many nations. We're a nation within Haiti. We're a nation within Jamaica. We're a nation within the different countries of Africa. We're a nation within Brazil and Ecuador and Colombia and Panama and Mexico. We're a nation within many nations. Praise the Most High. So here we come. Really, here we come. Praise the Most High. So chapter 11 is coming up next by the grace of the Most High. So please read ahead a little bit, study. Let's get through this thing, man. The Most High will bless us with his spirit, with his knowledge, and we will be prepared to meet Messiah and Father in peace. Praise, that's right. We're in the four corners of the earth. Praise the Most High. You see, sister, listen to your body. That sister right there. If we all would please pray for her and her husband. Her husband had a stroke, and he is in his body is in great pain as a result of the stroke. This is Sister Listen to Your Body. She also has a YouTube channel that talks about health called Listen to Your Body, which is one of the reasons she's being attacked like this. So please, if you would look at her channel, support her channel, and pray for her husband. That's the husband of Sister Listen to Your Body right there. Pray for her husband that the Most High will bring healing to him and bring him back to his mind and to himself as he suffered from a stroke. He's making great progress since the stroke. He didn't even have use of his left side of his body. Now he could walk, he could use his hand, but he's still having great pain in his body. So let's just continue. If you would just pray for him and pray for Brother Williams also, who just had the little baby 3 days or 4 days ago, little Ahaya. Pray for them as well. Praise the Most High. I'm scheduled to be going out to Brother Williams there. And we're going to do a baptism in May. Praise the Most High. Going to be going out to Brother Williams and doing a baptism in May. So praise the Most High. We're talking about scheduling that. And so please, let's keep each other and everything and everybody in prayer. Praise the Most High. Also, Sister Wade, her and her family, we talking about that baptism in June, right, Sister Wade? We talking about June, her and her family, baptism in June of this year. And then Brother Mark, he's in Ireland. So we're praying about getting out to Ireland. Brother Mark is not a rich man. So we're trying to pray about getting out to Ireland in September. And Brother David from London also. So we're talking about getting together in Ireland for baptism. Yeah. Brother Mark's not a rich man. So we were just praying to see how the Most High provide for us to get there. We don't even know yet, but we know he's going to do what needs to be done. So we praise the Most High for that. But yeah, if you can continue to pray for the brethren here, all these situations I just mentioned, I greatly appreciate that. The Most High will bless you for it. Blessings upon the whole chat. That's right. Praise the Most High. Until we meet again, may the Most High bless you and keep you, and cause his face to shine upon you and be gracious unto you, and lift up his countenance upon you and give you peace. Shalom.